What is up, guys? The topic of this video is the illusion of popularity. So I'd just like to begin this video with a quote, and it's by Dag Hammarskjöld. So it goes, "It is more noble to give yourself completely to one individual than to labor diligently for the salvation of the masses." The other day I put up a post on Instagram, and I have about 200 followers on Instagram, which is, I'd say a pretty modest figure for someone in their 20s. And anyways, I put up 2 photos of myself with a sort of weird grin on my face that made me look really cool and fashionable. And yeah, I think that post made me look pretty cool and popular because I got over 100 likes on that post. That's pretty amazing, right? So I was literally a celebrity for about 2 days, and it felt really good. And on top of that, a whole bunch of girls liked my post as well. So the next day I went to university, and as I was walking along the footpath, I noticed a girl who had liked my post. And we had talked a few times before, and I didn't really know her that well though. And as she walked past me, she didn't even look me in the eye. And I was literally another stranger that had passed her by on the footpath. And I was kind of stunned, I guess. And this exact same thing happened with another person. That person again did not even attempt to look at me and talk to me. And it was absurd, I thought to myself. So, why would they like my photo on Instagram if they don't want anything to do with me in real life? And then there are the Instagram stories. So I thought to myself the other day, what even is the point of Instagram stories? Well, basically, you have a bunch of people eating food, or you have a bunch of people in a photo together at some sort of event, and then they thought it would be a good idea to share this with a whole bunch of people who weren't invited. I mean, that's really ridiculous, isn't it? Just think about this for a second. Could you imagine going to your printer, printing out a photo that includes you and a whole bunch of your friends, at a pub or something, or a dinner, and then walking up to another person who you didn't invite and you show it to their face, and then you tell them, I had such a great time with these people, and the food was so good. And did I tell you that the food was so good? And did I tell you the food was so good? And and by the way, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a like. That's kind of, absurd, don't you think? And also, let's talk about birthday parties. 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and so on. So I had an ex-girlfriend, and for her 21st, she organized a combined party with another person. So over 100 people attended their 21st, right? And there was a massive photo gallery released after the party due to the sheer amount of people that she invited and she had to take photos with. And she told me that she spent over $2,000 hiring out the venue, finding a photographer and a DJ, buying decorations, hiring out the bar, etc. And this was all before inflation started occurring after COVID. So this was pre-COVID, right? So the currency was still, a lot more valuable than it is now today. And as I was dating her, I realized that she only had one friend that she could truly rely upon. And she only had this one quality friend, that she still talked to consistently after her 21st, and, she would hang out with her frequently. And there are about 5 other people that she caught up with occasionally, but that was it. And the reality was the other 94 people, the masses, they really didn't care about her that much, and they kind of just showed up because they thought it would be fun. And now I know that sounds really harsh, but you simply can't think in terms of efficiency with people, right? You must think in terms of effectiveness. So what do I mean by this? Well, you could spend 100 days talking to 100 different people, right? That would be really efficient. You spend your time talking to 100 different people. That's really efficient, but you still wouldn't have any meaningful relationships because the relationships are too shallow. They don't go into any depth, right? If you spend just one day talking to one person, you do that for 100 days talking to 100 different people, you still wouldn't really know anything about any of those people you talk to. But if you really value effectiveness with people and you spend 100 days talking to one person, who really loves being around you, who really cares about you, then you are a very lucky person. Okay, so because you'll really understand that person in depth, and that relationship is going to be really high quality and high value, and that person is going to be someone that you can count on, and that's a real friend. Now, I'm not saying that you should spend, all of your time with just one person, okay? So don't block out everyone else just to spend time with one person. What I'm saying is that it's really about the quality of your relationships as opposed to the quantity. So that's it for this video, and thank you guys for listening.